think that's it. I think we're live. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think we are live right now, folks. We have the smoke alarms still going off down the hall. They probably haven't had their batteries changed in 40 years. I don't know. I don't know when smoke alarms were first invented. I'm not sure. How are you guys doing? I am just getting into the shop. I should have been here like 23 minutes ago, but it is what it is. Hey, what's up, Dad? Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you. Without you, this place wouldn't be possible, so I can't thank you enough. What's up, Jose? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. All the way from Florida. All right, so as of right now, I think I only have like 2 things in the shop that I got to do. I had a couple of calls for some devices to fix, but you know, we'll see. I was gonna mention I have a new website. What's up, Robert? From Sweden. Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing. Thank you for watching my face all the way in Sweden. That's really amazing. If you guys want to check out my new site, I just released this week a new website, and I will give the link. I had a website back when I was in high school that I made, and I wasn't really good at making websites back then, and I still am not now. But if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the chat. cfmicrorepairs.info. Marcy, wow, from the Netherlands. Thank you for joining in. That's amazing. Okay, all right. So literally, just because I'm having a brain fart this morning. Mornings are never my thing. I actually had to think about where the Netherlands was, and it's basically where Amsterdam is, if that's right. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. So I think I do have one thing that we could do today, at least right now. If you guys want to watch, I have a let me grab my laptop bag, I'll show you. There's actually 2 things that I could do that I would like to do, since I have a little bit of time. Okay, I think this is it here. Let's see, hang on. It's nothing much right now, but and also, since I have the audio somewhat figured out, we can use the microscope now since we have audio. So that'd be great. Let's see here. I try to run YouTube channel to RB. Could you post a link in chat so I can check out your channel in a little bit? That would be awesome. So one of my nephews. So we gave my nieces and nephews our old Wii U, and the gamepad charger. Originally, I had to repair it, and I probably shouldn't have used electrical tape for this. I soldered it with electrical tape, but it just looked like trash. Well, they ended up sucking up with a vacuum on accident. So I've got the one end here, and this end. Oh man, this end is like. You know what? I'm not even going to use this. I'm going to throw this away. I'll just buy them a new one. The end of the cord that plugs into the gamepad for the Wii U is chewed up. So I didn't look at that last time I took it from them. I was like, yeah, I'll rewire it or whatever. But I guess we're not going to do that now. But I do have one thing, another thing. My MacBook Pro, I've been wanting to put some new thermal paste on the CPU and GPU, so we could do that for right now. The only other thing that I have that I need to take care of is I have a CB radio that I would have to talk to Dad about doing, so I'm not going to do that right now. It's some sort of high power CB with an amplifier, so I'm not too familiar on how it all works, so I'm not going to mess with it right this minute. But that's it for now. I'll tell you about one interesting repair that I did. Hang on. I'm trying to look for full housing, same Zelda limited edition. Yeah, honestly, dude. Well, best of luck to finding it, Jose. But like for me, like, I do get asked to work on 3DSs sometimes, but it's kind of rare now. Like I'll try to work on a no power situation, but that's typically like a top screen, bottom screen, or just some other random issue. But like changing like a top screen or something like that, I won't even do it. It's too risky, and it's just, for me, I feel like it's too risky and not enough money. And it would just I would charge way too much to do it because I don't really want to do it. It's just there's too much risk with the top. Like I've done top screens on the 3DS, and I absolutely do not like it. I would say the most risky thing I will do is an iPad. So I hate iPads, but you know, it is what it is. The iPad from last stream, where we fixed the home button, that job's done, by the way, and the home button's working great now. So I have my 15-inch MacBook Pro here with the really scuffed up bottom. We could take the screws out of this and repaste the CPU GPU. Oh wow, so they probably pay a lot of money for those repairs to get done, I'm guessing. At least that's what I was guessing. What screw types are these? I thought they were the 0.5. They're like 0.2. It must be that screw size. I don't work on MacBooks often. Well, that's too sweet of you, Robert, and that's really cool, honestly. I was actually talking to a customer yesterday about like older retro computers and how they're very intriguing to me. Like I think I would love to understand how they work, but to be honest with you, I don't have time now. It is Windows 11. Honestly, Mark James, like Windows 11 is recommended, but I mean, I still run Windows 10, and I probably will run Windows 10 until the end of the age, because Windows 11 requires a new security chip, from what I'm hearing, and you can't install it on some machines unless it has some sort of security. I don't know if there's like a bypass for that or anything either. Not sure. Who knows though? So it looks like all the screws are the same size. I have changed the thermal paste on this laptop once before. Not bad. It doesn't look bad in here. This battery definitely needs to be changed though. It doesn't, it probably lasts like maybe an hour, hour and a half at most, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, for me it's mainly money and time, and I like to make customers happy, obviously, but you know, if it's like, hey, this is my son's, son that passed away. Can you do this? It's very sentimental. That'd be something different. I would probably take it on. It's just like on a normal day. I don't even get asked to do it that often though either. It's like super rare. Now I got to remember how I did this before. I think there's a screw under here. I did this a while ago, and it's definitely time to be repasted already. Be honest, what is your honest? I don't know what which fixing what study. Mark James, are you talking about the video that I did response to yesterday, or are you talking about a different video? I kind of got to check and see. Oh, okay. What is honest opinion? Well, I gave my honest opinion in the video. Did you see my video from yesterday? I didn't know if you watched it or not. Okay, that's a different screw. It must be it. It's been a while since I've worked on a MacBook, especially this one. Okay, so I should probably disconnect the battery first. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It might be these two screws down here or something. No, it's got to be over here. I promise I'm not a noob to electronics. I'm just a noob to MacBooks. That's what's up, Robert. Let me take a look at your channel real quick. I believe I disconnected the battery on this. Last time I cleaned this computer, I didn't disconnect the battery because I wasn't sure where it was. I was a noob, and I still am a little bit to MacBooks. Not entirely, but like, I don't work on them that often. Let me see here. I gotta go to YouTube and find Robert. Robert, when you look up your channel, it looks like a country music musician pops up first. I gotta search by channel first. Oh, I found you. I see you have a lot of riding videos. Those look fun. I love riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers, so I would definitely get a kick out of that. I'll have to check it out in more detail at another time. But I'll have it saved here for when I end the stream later today. But I appreciate you watching my channel too. That's awesome. I'm trying a T6 real quick. Oh, that's way too big. Let's try a T5. It's probably like a T5, T4 or something. That's my guess. It's a T5. Yeah, because the thermal paste that I put in this computer before was a very low quality thermal paste. Yeah, so on my website I have a place to fill out a form now for local repairs and for mail-in repairs. So if you go to cfmicrorepairs.info, you can, if you have a repair that you need done or you need something soldered or whatever, you can go to the website and fill out a form there, and it goes directly into my email, and I can be in contact with you. those. No, these. Funny enough, this is the MacBook that I use to edit a lot of my videos on, but I also have an iMac as well at home. The video I edited, the video that I edited with the CB radio repair that I did, I edited with the iMac at home. Have you ever encountered arguing? It depends on what you mean by arguing. I mean, I have in the past, but I mean, it really depends on what, when it comes to like arguing, like what the problem is, because like, typically, like doing something that I guess it really depends on the situation. But for me, I haven't really had a situation where I had to like argue with a customer because they wanted something more, or I just didn't do something right or whatever. Usually if it was something I didn't do right or I messed up, you know, I take full responsibility and make sure that it gets taken care of, typically, you know. Like I'll give it for instance, I had a customer just message me the other day for a switch that I fixed back in August, and the switch stopped charging on for this customer, and it originally came in for some sort of charging issue, and I don't remember what I did to it exactly now. I mean, if I open up the switch, I could probably figure out what I did, but you know, the thing is that, you know, if you I told the customer that I would warranty it, you know, based off if it's not like a, you know, if it's like a power IC that failed or something, and it's something that I replaced, I would absolutely take care of it. But if it's like a charging port that had like physical damage or something, then you know, I don't cover physical damage because it's like it's been damaged by the customer. If it was something I did and like my work failed, that'd be different. Or if it was like a power IC that failed, you know, that's up for debate, because it could have been like, you know, if you move the charger just slightly and pins touch, sends power where it's not supposed to go, then, you know, that could be a situation where it's like, you know, the customer broke it or whatever. But to be honest, power ICs die all the time, so I would rather just, instead of making a fuss about it, I would just replace it, you know, and cover it for the customer. At least that's my opinion. So, but I mean, as far as having a bad encounter with a customer, I can't really say I've ever had like really bad experiences. I've had some customers that were not super nice, but it's been a while. All right, so I got the heatsink off, which is like, this thing is ridiculously small. There's a little bit of dust in here in this heatsink grill, but I can clean up. This thermal paste is, this thermal paste was when I was working at that T-Mobile place. They got us thermal paste for some reason. We work on cell phones, which I know sometimes have thermal paste, but the phones we were working on, like the latest iPhone and some of the latest Android phones, and they didn't really have thermal paste in there. We didn't ever have to change it. And like if they had like a thermal pad in the phone, the thermal pad would already be brand new, and so we never needed to change anything. It was just always good. So they gave us free thermal paste. So I was like, well, I have tools and thermal paste, so I'm gonna repaste my my MacBook. So I did that, and it was one of the worst thermal pastes that I could have used. But it happened. It's whatever. I use this MacBook primarily for gaming, which I don't do a lot of gaming on. I play Minecraft and Nazi Zombies. That's it. And by Nazi Zombies, I mean World at War Nazi Zombies, the first one. You know how some people play like, you know, they'll play like CSGO, or they'll play Team Fortress 2, or, you know, some old game that they just really loved from years and years ago. That's kind of how I am, but it's World at War. I gotta clean up the GPU here. Trying to clean up the die. I will tell you in a second. The model number is something. It is an A1398. If that tells you anything, but it's a, I think it's either an early or a mid 2015 15-inch MacBook Pro. And you'll never guess how I got this computer. Well, maybe you will. Maybe. So I'll tell you the story real quick. So I had, what's that? Let me see here. Ball. Hey, Micromage. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you. Even if you just pop in for a second. Appreciate you, buddy. You're amazing. Ball CPU and PCH. I don't reball anything that's very large. I can reball tiny ICs, and that's it. Like iPhone ICs, Nintendo Switch ICs. That's like the most I will do. I tried to do reballing and all of that when I was a little bit younger, and I just sucked at it so bad and killed and popcorned so many chips that I just decided it wasn't even worth my time to learn. And by the way, all of those boards were mine, not customers' boards, just so you know. Oh, wow. Yeah, that 2010, I can't remember. I don't know if that's the one that has the bad GPU. I know that 2011 does. But that's what's up, though. It definitely needed some pace if it was from 2010. Unless it, I mean, whatever. But yeah, if it was stock pace, for sure, my man. All right. All right, I could use a toothbrush on these. Sony lens microscope I see in the picture. Heck yeah, man. This is actually my dad's microscope, but since he's been out, I've been using it. I have a trinocular microscope that you see in a lot of my older videos, and it sits in the back room right now. Until I have enough money to actually buy one of these, it's like, I think it's $700 from Northridge Fix. But yeah, this is definitely has the Sony lens in it. And it literally just, the picture in it is just insanely amazing. Oh, dude, I know. The camera is literally just, it's amazing. All right, I'm gonna turn down the audio for a minute because I'm gonna turn on the air compressor so we can blow the dust out of this machine. There's not much in here, but it's enough where I'm like, well, if I'm in here, I might as well, right? So I'm gonna turn the audio down just a little bit so it's not that bad for you guys. Yeah, that's what's up. I should probably do mine way more often than I'm doing right now. If you guys can hear the air compressor, is it super loud? I actually don't know who Adrian Black is at the moment. Yo, computer booter, what you doing, buddy? All right, there's the audio. The audio should be back up. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, dude. How you been doing? Aren't you streaming today? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. You're in Cali, so that means it's like a few hours behind. So you probably wouldn't start streaming until like 10. So like another hour maybe? Or less than that, maybe? That's what's up, dude. I really appreciate you joining in. That's awesome. Robert, are you talking about computer booter? Oh, that's what's up, man. Dude, honestly, I've actually made comments about how like I don't understand how you could like live stream the whole day, because I make mess ups all the time, and I don't know if I'm sure you probably make mess ups on stream, but I make way too many mess ups that I'm like, dude, I could never like just stream all the time, because I'm like, I'll like drop like a screwdriver you know, onto a motherboard, and I'm like, ugh. You know, it's like, it'll be fine, but, you know, it happens. And then it's like on the internet, I'm just hypercritical of myself. I don't know. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, okay, Adrian. Yeah, I'll, maybe you could send me a link to his channel. I'll check it out in a little bit. For sure, dude. For sure. Literally, like, I'm so hypercritical of myself because I'm always afraid, like, I'm going to exit. Yeah, see, like, I just dropped the heatsink onto the computer. You know, it happens. But this is my personal machine, so I don't care. Like, if the machine blows up, it's whatever. It's my machine. So, right. But, yeah, I just have some thermal coat, thermal joint compound by Thermalloy. And then I took some Arctic Silver 4 and mixed it with that. So, it's I think it's like a silicone-based thermal paste. But I just take a little bit of that stuff right there. Take some metal and put it right onto the silicone. No, whenever I use like a metal spreading tool, I'm always really careful on the actual die of the chips that I'm working on. Always. Like, it's like super gentle whenever I do it. No, for real. I feel like I'll feel like if I say something stupid, I'm like, yep, it's the end. Like, there's the door. I'm gonna go out that door now. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your kindness. It really makes a difference. Alright, so I put some new thermal compound on. And we can just set the good old heater sinks in place. It's actually just one singular heat sink, but whatever. I hope there's a performance difference. What's up, Andrew Repair Shop? Good to see you, buddy. Alright, so we got to put these back in now. I got the screws for the heatsink that I got to screw in. Yeah, you're right. Editing videos is it's easy to you know, to edit out mistakes a lot of the time. Don't worry, Micromage. I try to edit out most of my stupidity too, but I feel like, and this is my 100% transparentness. A lot of times, like, if you go back in some of my videos, like I'll say something, because a lot of times I will make a video and I just have not planned it. I'll literally just do it, and I won't think through what I'm trying to say, but I also have to get through what I'm doing. And I'll say something that literally just, like, at least this is my own opinion. Obviously, what you guys think is different than what I think of myself. But I'll think, wow, that was that didn't logically make sense at all. And I'm like, well, we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna do it. It's like, it's whatever. It'll make sense, hopefully, maybe not, whatever. So that's my attitude a lot towards when I make videos. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. I'm like, that is a logical fallacy, Chase. That's logically inconsistent. Right. Absolutely, David. I can't agree with you more. That is so true. And it's kind of sad because I get over hypercritical of myself with it. But then sometimes I'm just like, it's whatever. I don't even care. But that's, I don't know if you get like that where you're just like, I don't care. But then at the same time, you're like, well, did I say something wrong? Did I say something that I shouldn't have said? And it's just like, a mess. Compound. Yeah, and it may be. Let me see. Yeah, right, exactly. What's funny is you're pretty much in a situation where you are darned if you do or darned if you don't sometimes, just in regular life. Okay, that's all together. I absolutely love this MacBook. This thing is amazing. It was probably one of the best. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys a story. So the story of how I got this computer. There's actually I'll tell you guys a couple of stories, and it's not to gloat. It's just an insane story. So I got this computer earlier this year. I traded it for a PS4 Slim, the army green color version. So all I did I'd seen a bunch of MacBooks on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw this one, and I asked the gentleman if he would be interested in trading for an Xbox One S. He said, let me ask my daughter, and she said yes, but then the Xbox One S I had at the time, it had some GPU issues, and so I didn't realize it. And after going through it and checking over it, I let him know that this one was not ready. And then I was like, well, I have this PS4 Slim, and so that one he did end up trading for is with a controller and all that, and it worked out. So this computer has a GPU in it. It's a 2 gig graphics card, and it plays most games that I would play, so I'm happy with it, and it edits videos good. So yeah, no, and honestly, man, it's just us, Robert. What it is just us being hypercritical of ourselves. Like, to be honest, I once I got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to make the best videos I can possible, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. Once I watched a bunch of stuff about, if you guys are familiar with Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast is one of the biggest YouTube channels on YouTube. And he's talked about the YouTube algorithm and how to make a good video, etc. And, I became obsessed with learning how to do that and trying to make my edits good and try to make what I'm saying make sense and to make my videos as watchable and as entertaining as they can be. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that the right way. Robert, do you have another channel, or is that all on your channel? Where you taught? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't agree with you more. Okay, screw. Okay, all right. I think we got all the screws here. Flip that over. Okay. Plug the battery in. I know in some countries people say battery, and I see battery. Dude, okay, David, I'm so sorry. And to everybody that has to listen to that, I literally am so sorry. You know how you said my smoker alarm needs a new battery? What smoke alarm? I took my smoke alarm out because it was beeping. But that was actually the reason I took the smoke alarm out, was not just because it was beeping, but because when I was heating stuff up, the smoke from flux and stuff wasn't going all into my fume extractor. It was going right up to the smoke alarm and setting it off. We also have the sprinkler systems in here too, so I'm not super worried about it. But it's actually smoke alarms down the hallways up here. In this building, I feel like they haven't changed smoke alarms in probably 30 years. So yeah, one complaint that I had about this place that we're in, but other than that, everything has been good. We have a bathroom in the back, and the toilet had started leaking and actually destroyed the bathrooms downstairs in the truck stop. And they broke our doorknob trying to get in because they didn't have a key to one of the back room that we have in this place. And they never fixed the doorknob. They never did. And they didn't fix our toilet either. They just shut the water off. So I fixed the toilet, and then I fixed the doorknob too. So that tells you kind of how everything is here. You can put sensor. Yeah, I know. That would be really nice. I'm going to have to go down the hall and kind of find which ones are the ones that are beeping and then just put batteries in them. Because I know they won't. Which kind of sucks that I have to take initiative, but, you know, someone's got to, I guess. I know, right? Typical. Dude, for real. It sucks. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Alright, let's see. Okay, I can put the bottom cover back on now. The computer is repasted, and hopefully it turns on. It's gonna be like, do we have fan spin? Do we have fan spin? Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, I need a different driver here. Landlord said shoot. Yeah. You know, at the same time, you know, I don't know if it's just like, because I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, sometimes I try to. I mean, it's possible that maybe she forgot. Like, I mean, I think of myself like, you know, owning a business and doing what I'm doing. It's kind of like, I get the having a ton of responsibility and possibly forgetting something. So, I mean, maybe that happened. Maybe she just did it on purpose. Who knows? You know, I mean, that's every situation's different, obviously. But yeah, I mean, at least the place here, they I don't know if it's just that they're short staffed, but like they never took care of the problem, and that was kind of sad. It was still fun nonetheless. I mean, I don't exactly like fixing toilets, but I mean, I will if I have to. I don't mind rebuilding a toilet from time to time. In fact, I probably could have asked my apartment, "Oh, dude, you're amazing. Thank you so much, David. Dude, you're the freaking best, dude." Dude, honestly, I was going to say I want to make a quick compliment. I see you doing those Frankenstein PS3s, man, and that is literally one of the most respectable and cool things that I've ever seen in my life. That's epic to me. Like, cause I love the PS3. The PS3 was where I started. It's like how I started fixing electronics in general. Okay, does this work? Okay, my computer doesn't turn on. Oh, no, it did turn on. It posted. Yes, it's working. Maybe it just took a second. It's like, we go turn it on just from, like, just nothing. It's just, like, doesn't turn on. It's like, oh, we'll try it. Yeah, dude, I know. I literally could not imagine trying to change a GPU. And then once you finally get, like, you get the heat sink on, you get the board in, you get that metal piece in, right? And then you have to take the ribbon cable for the power button and eject button, plug it in, you know? And then you're like, we're going to do it. And then you hit beep, and it's like, turns on, it's like, yeah, beep, beep. And then you're like, ah, you know? But in your case, it's beep, and it's like, it just works. And it's like, dude, that's awesome, man. I never had that much success ever with, I've never reballed a giant BGA like that. Plus, I don't have a machine to do that anyways. the machine. Well, I probably could do it. Probably could. I don't know. I don't feel like I should continue to try to reball, at least right now. Large ICs, like giant CPUs and GPUs. What's funny is I actually never delidded. I actually never successfully delidded a CPU on a PS3, and a good friend of mine that I was kind of helping with learning repairs and stuff. He got into PS3 modding and Xbox 360 modding before we met, and he had learned on YouTube how to delid a PS3, and he came over and hung out with me on my birthday. Matthew, if once you do come in or however on the chat, but yeah, he came over to my house and he's like, yeah, Chase, I can delid your PS3 because I have currently it's a 2101 2000 or 2101A PS3, which it's on EvilNet's it's the overclocked firmware. I don't know if it just overclocks the CPU, but overclocks the GPU. Anyway, so it's on that firmware, and he delidded the CPU for me, and I was like, dude, you're the best. I'm like, I've never done it before. And I've been working on PS3s for at least 10 years now, and I never delidded a CPU. Remember when I modded Xbox Classic to run all the games in my youth? Dude, was it the original Xbox? Is that the one you're talking about when you say Xbox Classic? I would assume the original. But yeah, my laptop's working, guys. It's running, so I didn't kill it. Obviously, probably wouldn't kill it running or putting just thermal paste on it, right? David, if you're still here, how long have you been in the PS3 scene and doing what you do? Robert, that's awesome. I have modded a couple of original Xboxes. I believe the game I used, because I've never installed a mod chip on an original Xbox, but I did do, I believe it was the Splinter Cell exploit, that game save exploit. Wow, David. Well, you look like a pro. You would have me completely fooled. That's amazing, dude. And how long have you been in like the PS3 scene itself? And yeah, that's awesome. Been doing it for about a year now. Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, as of right now, the only big ICs I've ever changed that was successful, I did a encoder, the BGA encoder on a PS3 FAT. And when I changed it, it didn't fix the problem. It ended up being one of the blown diodes that have the 2K ohm resistors or 2.2K ohm resistors in the HDMI circuit. It was one of those protection diodes that blew. Once I changed that, it worked, and then I was like, dude, I changed my first encoder by myself, like in reball. Like I didn't reball it. I actually bought it from a friend of mine, and he reballed it for me, and then I just installed it. Man, that's epic. Yeah, I know. Most of what I do now is like HDMI ports, honestly. I mean, that's like a lot of what comes in. But and CB radios now. I've been fixing a lot of CB radios. And yeah, dude, it does feel good. That is amazing. So what is it? Are you putting like a 3000 model GPU on it? I don't know what GPU you're using. Are you using the later revision? Because I know that the 4000 GPU, the Slim, looks different than the other GPUs. But either way, that's awesome. I was going to check something real quick. see here real quick. You know what? I just realized. Here, let me see here real quick. I should be able to show you guys my website real quick. Let me see here. I should be able to do it. Hang on. Yeah, I can do this. Look, there it is. So I just made my first website. It's live now, so if you guys want to go check it out, it's not very big, but it is a website nonetheless. If you guys have any suggestions, I'd be willing to change it up. But it shows our shop location, our address, my phone number, and I have a gallery of devices that I've worked on in the past. This was a fun one. This had liquid damage where one of the ICs for the that was a PS4 1200 series. This laptop had a dead short on one of the main power rails. Ended up being a capacitor. This was a this one right here was a controller. One of the shoulder buttons, the pad corroded away, and we fixed it with a trace. This was a fun one right here. This laptop, the white one, that laptop would not turn on, and Steve from Tronics Fix actually released a video about this very similar laptop. It literally, the motherboard was, from what I could tell, identical, and it was dead, no power. I don't remember if he ever got it working or not. But this one ended up being a dead short capacitor. And once I found the dead short, it lit up on my thermal cam and took the cap off, and the board turned on and the whole machine worked. This one right here, it was an Xbox original, or Xbox One OG with the power brick, super corroded, and I replaced the MOSFET here and ended up digging up the board and got it to work for like a day, and then it quit working again. So yeah, liquid damage, it's like we can get your data back, but that's it. And HDMI, probably USB-C, USB-C. This was USB-C and fan, USB-C. Oh yeah, the Series X, super hairy Series X, PS5. Oh, this was a fun one. The Joy-Con rail, I didn't have one in stock, so I ran some jumpers to basically complete the circuit. That was fun. This was that OG Xbox that had the this one right here. It's the same one. Nintendo Switch, and that's it. That's all that's all the things there. And if you want to mail in your device, you can fill this out here. And schedule a repair, that's for local stuff, and then mail in. So, yeah. Let me see here. Switch it back. There we go. Right down to how to get coffee that worked. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate the donation, man. You're amazing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, gotcha. That makes more sense. Well, you have an amazing day, and good luck on those Frankies, buddy. I really appreciate you. It's 1 week. Oh, I know. What did you use to make your website? I used Square. I think it's through Weebly or something. But if you just Google like a Square website, you can make it through Square. And yeah, thanks, buddy. Take it easy and have an amazing rest of your day. Yeah, definitely. I need to put that there. I just haven't done it yet. One day I will. One day. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Everyone's amazing. Everyone. Let's see. T5. I always try to put the bits back that I don't use on a regular basis back where they go, just in case. But like, for instance, I've got the bits that I use like constantly. The T10, T8, and T9, they're all right here waiting for me. Just so I can just pick them up. I don't have to pick them out of a bit holder. And right now, I actually use like some really, really cheap Chinese bits. I'd like to get some more high quality ones, honestly. One day I will. But today is not that day. One day, though. One interesting repair that I had recently was a... I'll show you. It was some sort of trucking device that it has a 15-pin, like a serial connector, right? And the serial connector was all bad. And so I ordered 2 of them, the brand new connectors, on Mauser. I had to kind of dig for them and find the connector that I needed, and ended up replacing it. I'm just waiting for the customer to come pick it up, but yeah, I replaced a 15-pin connector. That was interesting. I do have an oscilloscope, and it's a digital one, and I don't use it super often, but if I want to check and see if a crystal is oscillating, or maybe check a data line to see if data is on that line, you can check it with that. But using the oscilloscope for other things, I'm just not familiar with it enough to use it for some other things yet, unfortunately. It's just nice to know if a crystal is working or not when I check it. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know where my probes are offhand. I think Dad's got some probes over on his bench, because he has an oscilloscope. I don't know if you watched my CB radio modification video. I actually used the oscilloscope to demonstrate a couple of things, and I'm not 100% sure on how the oscilloscope is set up, the frequencies, or how it all works. I'm not 100% sure. But just to demonstrate the signal that you see on the oscilloscope and the differences in making adjustments. That's awesome. Yeah, let me post a link real quick for you. Well, you know, whenever you want. It is, the video is called, wait for it, my internet and computer are super slow. The video is called, wait for it, This is how I modified a Cobra 29 CB radio fast. That video is actually pretty cool, and demonstrates just a couple things about CBs that I think are really cool. It's a pretty cool modification that you can do to a Cobra, where you remove JP36, it's a jumper, and you replace it with a capacitor to allow the audio to pass through, and you can use a variable resistor to lower the initial dead key of the radio, so that instead of dead keying at 4 watts, you can reduce the dead key on the radio when you transmit down to about 2.5 watts. And whether you're driving a large amplifier behind your radio, you can raise and lower that dead key based off of that as well. Because sometimes, from what I understand, you need a higher dead key to drive an amplifier to basically switch on and boost your an amplifier signal, from what I understand. Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a bunch of them here. Actually, there's a couple. I got 4 of them up on the shelf now that I just finished up. Got a Cobra 29. They're actually all Cobra 29s. All of them. But they're awesome. I really really enjoy working on Cobra radios. I think they're cool. Let me see here real quick. So right, let's see. It could be Cobra could be just a US thing. But yeah, Cobra's been around since probably 70s, 80s from what I understand. And I don't know what I don't know if there's any other different types of CVs that might be out of the country. But they have like Cobra Uniden. I believe they're made by the same company. You got Striker, Ranger. What are some of the Galaxy? You have a couple of different radios that you can pick from in the market. Midland is another one. They are technically retro, and dude, they are truly awesome. Super cool. Super duper cool. So, I guess I could tell you guys a story that I think I've told on my channel before. Interesting story about how I had got my stuff locked in a shop for about a month. My equipment, and it was more or less my bad. I trusted these guys a little too much and brought all my equipment there to do work, and the guy that I originally was doing the work for had bought the business from another group of people, and there was some back rent and some issues there, and so the business got given back to the other guy, and basically the keys went back to him, and I wasn't told about getting my stuff back, and so I never got my stuff back until about a month later, and so that really sucked. But I've mentioned before that equipment doesn't actually exist with me anymore. I don't have it anymore. All the equipment that I have now is completely different from the equipment that I had then. So it's a much better situation. And then, so I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I am talking to another guy that owns a shop probably about maybe a half hour away from here about doing some work for him, but I'm not 100% sure of how we're going to go about doing it. Maybe a business to business ordeal, or me going up there working for a couple days, or I'm not sure yet. Yeah, you know, I actually did a police report for that, and to be honest, the police were giving me a hard time about it, which actually really sucked. But it did end up working out, though. It did. The guy ended up finally, like, he blocked me several times. The original owner that had the keys now, it was like block me and be like, yeah, you can go get your stuff, and then he'd be like, no, you're not allowed to go get your stuff, and then just like block it out, and then back and forth. So, it was it was sort of back and forth, but eventually I did end up getting my stuff back, and I learned my lesson. If if you have to bring your equipment to a business, make sure you bring it back home with you every night. That's it. Yeah, I know I've told that story before, but I mean, I cannot stress it enough. Or have the employer buy the equipment to use at the shop. That's what I would do. So, as what was I gonna say? So yeah, I mean, you know, if there was like a situation where, you know, the employer had a really bad soldering iron or a really bad microscope, like, and they had a stand like mine, I wouldn't mind like bringing my microscope head with me every day or something. Like, I just had a terrible digital microscope, and then just put my head in it every day, like the eyepiece head that I have. I wouldn't mind doing that, honestly. So I had this one iPhone 6. It was my brother-in-law's, and I went to change the battery on it one day, and the battery, I think, was bad. And when I plugged it in, I think it killed something on the board, and all the phone does now is flash the Apple logo and sit there on the Apple logo for a little bit, and then nothing. So I changed the TriStar and Tigris chip like multiple times, and it never fixed it. So I'm guessing maybe it's the PMIC, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna change it because I know it has underfill and it's kind of hard to change. And it sits now. Maybe one day I'll work on it and actually try. Found there. Yeah, absolutely, Robert. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. And yeah, no, I like, probably like yourself, I'm a really sentimental guy too. So, I mean, even though I don't have that equipment anymore, none of it was actually like super sentimental to me. I mean, it is, you know, from being my first equipment, but yeah, I could definitely see that being, you know, like, all right, for instance, if and when my dad ever passed away, you know, some of his equipment, you know, there's a ton of memories with it, you know. Some of the stuff I don't even know what it does, but some of it I'm still trying to gather my mind on it to understand how it all works. But yeah, absolutely. Just even the shop being, you know, here, you know, my dad hasn't been here in over 2 months, and if it weren't for, you know, me coming here and doing what I could, you know, the shop would already be gone by this point. So I'm doing my best to keep it afloat. I know at some point there's a game stop down the road from here. I need to go drop off some business cards there, to them to let them know that I do repairs. I know people do call GameStop sometimes to ask about repairs because I know they get calls all the time. There is a game store just nearby that does repairs as well. I don't know to the extent of repairs. Like, when you say they do repairs and all they do is HDMI connectors, well, yeah, they do repairs obviously, but like, you know, I don't know how often, like when you change a USB-C port on a Nintendo Switch, how often is it where the M92 chip actually fails? And I would say it's like maybe 40% of the time, but it happens, you know. I had there's a shop that is nearby. It's probably 5-6 miles away, and it had a switch come in, and they couldn't fix it. And they originally thought it was just a charging port because the unit wouldn't charge or turn on, and it only charged in one direction. And what's that? I think every YouTuber who does tech have a blue rubber. Oh, I know. What's funny is I used to never have a blue mat, but the funny thing is this is actually one that my brother had. My blue mat's actually really small, but since my brother's not here anymore, it's like, when I say here, I mean he's at home. I'm like, I'm gonna take this mat over. If he ever wants it back, he can have it. But I mean, we bought it for him for the shop to work, and he doesn't use it, so I'm here, and so I'm gonna use it. Until he says he wants it back, then I'll give it to him, but whatever. Right. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, you know, I was saying, I'm trying to think of where I was at. Anyway, yeah, so the shop that had the switch in, the lady, the customer that brought it to me, she said, well, they brought it to this shop. They said they couldn't fix it. So I was like, all right, well, Let's take a look. And it charged in one direction at 5 volts and did not charge in the other direction. And a lot of times if the port is the USB-C port on the switch is mint and it charges in 5 volts in one direction and doesn't charge in the other direction, it's going to be a shorted M92 chip. And so I changed it. I checked, and I think it could have been shorted on the outside or not. Either way, if it's only charging at 5 volts, it's definitely going to be that. So I changed the M92. It started charging at 15 volts and started working. My mate Vince is the freaking best, man. I love Vince. Vince is probably one of the most kind and caring YouTubers I've ever met, that are kind and giving. He's a very, very transparently giving person, just from as long as I've known him. He invited a lot of us tech YouTubers to be in a YouTube series called the YouTube Fixers, and I actually do a repair in episode 7. So if you ever want to go check that out, oh, I know. Yeah, Vince has like over 1,000 videos on his channel. He's crazy amazing. Crazy amazing. I'll say that. He's just like, he's a powerhouse, you know? Like I think just recently I hit like 100 videos, and I was like, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of videos. And you know, before this YouTube channel, I had other YouTube channels from when I was a kid. And so I've probably made maybe 120 videos, 130 videos at least. And there were tons of videos. Actually, I probably made more because I deleted a lot of videos. So I don't know. I've had a lot of videos, at least on this channel. This channel used to be okay, so I used to do a business where I would mod Xbox 360s and PS3s, and I would do proof videos. So I would like mod a console, and someone would buy it, and then I would basically do a proof video and be like, all right, Paul, this is your Jasper Xbox 360 that's RGH, and then mail it out. So that was pretty much what I used to do on this channel, and then I deleted a lot of my videos, pretty much all of them, and then basically started fresh again. Oh wow, that's what's up. That's cool, Robert. That's what's up. I really appreciate you sticking around all this time, because that was a while ago. You're amazing. Thank you. Yes, electronics. Yeah, Electronic Repair School by Soren. Yes, dude, he is so, like, okay, so there was an instance where he makes electronics really, like, easy to understand. And I love the way that he presents things. And it's been a while since I watched Soren, but I absolutely love it. So he did a video. I had a 2011 MacBook Pro, right? And the power button on it quit working, and it's part of the keyboard. Well, there's some liquid damage on the keyboard. What he did was he soldered a wire from the power button and ran that wire all the way up to the keyboard connector on the motherboard. And I did that, and it worked, and it was all thanks to him showing the pinout of where the power button went on the board. And like, I was like, dude, like, that's something I would have done if I would have known how to find that. And Soren literally was the guy that had it, and I was like, dude, you're the best. Where's that one? Oh my goodness, 2 times. That's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine having my well, my dad did have his shop broke into probably back in the early 2000s when it was actually down the hall from here. No schematic stuff, love it. Oh, I know. Yeah, he is extremely skilled. And no schematics. Yeah, that's the cool thing, is being able to fix something without a schematic. I actually had a telescope control board that came in yesterday. That's the only thing really that came in yesterday. And a connector had been hooked in the wrong spot and probably sent power where it wasn't supposed to go. And so it had a system light and a couple other standby lights that would come on, but the system light never came on anymore. Like, it used to come on, but now it didn't come on anymore. And so well, near the system area is where the BIOS chip was, the flash ROM. And so I measured a couple caps around that area, and they were dead shorted. Like zero, they were 0.8 ohms to ground, so just 0 ohms. And once I removed the BIOS chip, I had like 17,000 ohms on those caps. So it was definitely the BIOS chip that was the fail point. But he called the company, and the company told him, just buy our brand new board for the machine. It's an updated revision of the board, and it was $2,500. And it's like, dude, I had a working board, and I just need a flash ROM. So I told him, I was just like, try to ask him and see if you can get a flash ROM for it. You'll pay him for it. That's what's up. Yeah, I would say one of my mentors, I got two mentors, my dad and my good friend Ryan, that I mentioned in the last video that I just put out. Ryan, it was back when we lived in Ohio. We lived in a city with maybe 10,000, 20,000 people, and he did micro soldering, board level repair like I do, and he taught me a lot that I would never have figured out on my own. He actually fixed like TV power supplies, and I was just like, dude, like, how do you understand how that works? Like, how can you stress test a power supply to see if it's good, or how do you find the problem? And he helped me fix the TV that I had. I got it from a guy. I'll tell the story here in a second. Let's see. Oh, that's what's up, Jose. Does he do sandwich boards too? Because I do have an iPhone X that it's in pieces that I don't know if I'll ever redo it. It's got some missing chips and stuff on it too that that I was working on. This was back like probably almost a year. No, this was over a year. This is like probably a year and a half ago now. Board quit charging, quit having sound, and the board just was having issues, and so I tried to separate the boards, separate the sandwich without like doing with a heat gun, and it was not very pleasant. Absolutely. So let me see here. By lowering the key and increase the modulation, both amplifiers work much better with the loaded key. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, for sure, for sure. So real quick, I wanted to mention about the TV that I had gotten. So I had a 64-inch Samsung Plasma TV that I got free from a guy that from the city we were living in. No worries, Jose, man. Honestly, dude, whenever. I appreciate those for sure, and get it. Being a business owner yourself and having grandkids and busy with life, you don't have to worry about me, man. Just whenever, if you want to, I won't hold you to it. So I got this TV. The guy said that the TV wouldn't turn on, and it just would not work sometimes. So we brought it home. I put it in the garage and plugged it in. The TV turned on and worked just fine, and it didn't shut off. So we took the TV in the house. I told my wife, hey, how about we just use this TV for now? We had another 50-inch, so we put that in our room. And I was like, well, this TV's bigger. We'll leave it in the living room, and we'll just use that until it dies. So we started using it, and about 3 weeks later, and the TV worked perfectly, no problems. 3 weeks later, I was working midnights at the time. I went to bed, and I woke up probably like maybe 2 or 3 hours later, and my wife comes in the room. She's like, Chase, power's out in the living room. I was like, okay. So I went in the living room, I looked over at my phone. My phone was still charging. So I was like, okay, well, it's not like there's a storm or something and the power went out. So I went in the living room, and sure enough, the power was out and the TV was off. So I went and I flipped the breaker. The breaker had went out in the living room. So I flipped the breaker, and the TV would not come back on. There used to be a red standby light on the TV. So I'm checking it out. It's not turning on. I'm just like, man, what happened? And I asked her, I said, what happened exactly? She's like, well, we were watching a movie, and then all of a sudden we heard a big, and then the power went out. And I was like, man, what happened? So like maybe a week later, I called up Ryan, and I was like, all right, you fix motherboards. What should I try first on this TV? Because when I met him, all he did was TV boards. He didn't even do game consoles. But after I talked him into doing game consoles and learning, you know, HDMI repair and all that, like, I mean, he didn't have to learn HDMI repair. He just, I just pointed him that direction, and then that's what he started doing, which was awesome. So that's his craft, right, as far as I know. But anyways, he told me, is the main fuse blown on the TV power supply? So I check it, and it's blown. And he said, all right. He said it's probably one of the main power MOSFETs. And sure enough, it ended up being a 500 volt, 18 amp MOSFET that was dead shorted. So what happened was when I measured the MOSFET, that was when I started to understand how electronics worked. And I still don't quite understand everything, but I started to understand the concept of how the MOSFET was working. And so I tested the MOSFET, and ended up showing dead short on all 3 pins, the gate, source, and the drain. So I replaced the MOSFET. Or actually Brian replaced their MOSFET. He had a bunch of TV boards, so he pulled some good MOSFETs off of some other boards and put them in, and the TV worked until it started to had some weird issues with the actual panel, the actual plasma panel ended up having issues, and we ended up giving the TV away finally. But the power issue never happened again. The TV always worked. So yeah, that was a really cool situation that really kind of springboarded me into understanding how to fix a power supply board. And you know, I fixed many like Xbox One original power supply bricks that were like either a bad MOSFET or the bad I would say like the final filter capacitors at, you know, on the output of the supply. I've done countless amount of those supplies, and you know, that's just from, you know, learning. Okay, you check the source and against the gate, or you check the drain and source, and you make sure that they're not shorted, and if they're shorted, it's bad, you know. So I mean, that's like an instance of checking a power supply to see if it's shorted or not. But you know, not every power supply, you know, I can fix, you know, because I don't know everything there is to know about a power supply to check it. To get a higher level of understanding electronics is to say that you don't understand. Yeah, there are literally parts of electronics that I don't understand at all, and I'm still trying to gather information. Like for instance, like an LCD. Like an LCD screen. I don't understand how an LCD works. I would love to understand one day, but I still don't understand how an LCD works. Or an OLED. I know it, like, I understand the concept of an OLED screen, but I don't know how an OLED screen works. You know, that's one thing I don't quite understand. One thing that I found that was really helpful for me was when I started to understand how electronics worked, right? And then I started to understand the concept of charging circuits and how they worked, and understanding the concept of how to inject voltage into a circuit. Because I had always heard of the term voltage injection, but I didn't quite get the concept of it until probably about a year and a half ago. I started to understand that you could inject voltage into an area, because, like, you know, for instance, you can measure a dead short on a capacitor in one area of the board, but it ends up being on the complete opposite side of the board. Or you measure a short on a rail, a power rail for a MOSFET, and it ends up being somewhere else on the board where the short is, because that power rail goes throughout the entire board. That's why, you know, some people will change. They'll just start removing capacitors. They'll start removing chips off the board. And in some cases, you know, you'll have one chip that looks like it's shorted, but it'll actually be something that shorts first but doesn't get hot because this other chip gets hot first or whatever. And ends up not being the chip, ends up being a cap or whatever. So I've seen that before too. But, you know, what I've seen mostly is when you find like a main power rail on a laptop shorted, you know, and it's incredibly low resistance to ground, and you check it, you know, you check with ohms and just see the ohms reading on that line, and then you inject voltage there. You know, usually like injecting like 1.5, 2 volts, you'll usually get, if something is dead shorted, you'll see it with like 1 to 2 volts, usually. Let's see here. Educate students to be. Oh, for sure, for sure. That's that's been my thing. Is for me, I know that I can't lie because you guys are all geniuses, anyways. You know, so I'll try to be as transparent and understanding as I can to explain what I know, and I'll just be like, this is what I know, and we'll try it. You know, we'll try it. This might be the way, who knows, but just from my experience, this is what I've done in the past, and this is what worked for me. You know, I actually have a really cool example we could look at if you want. Let me see here. Well, maybe not, but yeah, so this is a Asus motherboard that a friend had a motorcycle accident on, unfortunately, but he gave me all the computer parts. The board is completely destroyed, but I mean, it has tons and tons of MOSFET transistors and other chips on it that maybe one day I'll actually use some of them. I haven't yet, but I mean, there are connectors that are good, I mean, all over the place. And the thing is you know, like we can measure some stuff, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, trying and failing is my lot in life. Oh, hang on. I gotta send some pictures. Okay, there we go. All right. I had to send some pictures. Looks like Asus mainboard. It is. This is an Asus laptop motherboard. Would you guys want to look under it, under the microscope? And there's a couple of MOSFETs that are dead short, and it's because the motherboard itself is shorted. The motherboard, the layers are literally like cracked together. Let me see. I got to plug in the microscope real fast. Okay. All right, give me 1 sec. I have my microscope camera and microphone kind of together, so like 2 seconds. All right, guys, can you see this pretty good? Maybe. Yes, no, maybe so. All right, so let's see here. I'm trying to think because I had measured some FETs before on this board. What we got? Okay, so let's check here real quick. So I got 1 probe on ground, and let's check this. Is this FET shorted? No, it is not. Let's check the gate. It is not shorted. That one's not. Maybe some FETs over here are shorted. Maybe these are. No, this board's going to totally troll me. I know it. Let's see. Some of these FETs are shorted for sure. Where's the break in the board? Oh, it's over here. Oh, these FETs are definitely going to be shorted. I measured these before. All right, let's check. Yes. No. This is not going to... Oh, here we go. That was shorted. That's 0 ohms. Oh, that is super short. There's like a super shorted FET, but the FET is not shorted. There's literally a break in the board. I'll show you. It's right here. If you can see that. The break in the motherboard, literally, it's the layers are just shorted altogether. It's really sad. And he, the motorcycle accident wasn't too bad. He just hurt his shoulder, and he was able to recover like completely. So he's doing good. But whenever I am checking a laptop, and I don't notice like MOSFETs that are shorted right off of the bat, a lot of time I'll check these giant inductors here because they are on main power rails. And yeah, see, so I have one probe here connected to ground over here, right? And we can check, and that's shorted. It's 0.2 ohms to ground. However, you know, when I check different inductors on motherboards, what I like to check is I like to check all of them. This one it's shorted, but it's measuring like 31 ohms. I'm not saying that that's not a dead short, but that's not like even 0.5 ohms to ground can be just low impedance to ground. That's measuring 31 ohms. What's this one measuring? This one's measuring 0.4 ohms. So like let me see if I can find a for instance here. I know I measured on a PS5 motherboard near the CPU. There was an instance where there was like very low impedance to ground. Let's see. Okay, so I've got a PS4 motherboard here. We could take a look at this. I don't have a PS5 motherboard on hand, but we could take a look at one of these and measure some caps underneath it and see if we have like super low impedance to ground. We might. Let's check some of these caps right under here. So we got 22 ohms. Yeah, 21 ohms. Okay. Let's check some of these main power rails with the inductors over here. Alright, let's see. We could check it right here. This one is 20 ohms. So, I mean, there's different situations. I'm going to switch over to the other cam. Okay. We can switch this back. It's not focused. Wait, is it gonna focus? No. Hang on, wait. Oh, there it is. It focused. Amazing. Yeah, so those are just basic examples. So like, I know on the PS5 board I have measured near the APU a 0.5 ohm to ground. And it was just low impedance. It wasn't actually a short. But I mean, you know, like we have 22 ohms here. I had a I had a laptop come in that had it had 7 ohms to ground, and so you can have really, and that was actually, it was a dead short. But the thing is you could have very low impedance to ground and it still not be a short, and it shows like it's a short. That's why a lot of the time, I mean, the short has to be, you know, I mean, my rule of thumb is basically like at least 10 ohms or less. If it's 10 ohms or less, it could be a short. but not always. So that's why it's good to inject at least 1 volt just to see what heats up, because you could have, like I said, you could have a 0.5 resistance to ground, and then you inject voltage and the GPU or the CPU heats up. And it's like, well, that's because you're injecting voltage there, and it's going to draw current, and it's not because it's shorted, it's just a low impedance, and you're basically just powering the circuit with the power supply. So that's just what I've gathered anyway. I don't know if that was an electronics lesson or it was just whatever, but you know, it's fun. It's fun nonetheless. I would say besides diagnosing electronics, my other favorite part is soldering. Soldering, hands down, is probably one of my favorite things to do ever. Is the self-regulated transformer, is that like a variac where you can vary the voltage when you can basically, it's like with AC, you can turn the voltage up slowly? Is that what you're mentioning, what you're talking about? Okay, yeah. Dad's got a variac right up top there. And yeah, it is really good for measuring and finding shorts. I don't quite understand how to use it just yet with AC, but you know, I understand, like, you know, turning up the voltage to find a short. I do know that. Yep. Yep, they call it a variac. Robert, do you have a what is your main language? And you're in the Netherlands, or yeah, I think Netherlands, right? Matthew, what up, buddy? I was talking about you earlier. I figured you would show up at some point. I did. Oh, wow. I don't actually know where that is, but that is super freaking cool. I have to look it up now. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong, Matthew. I was just I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. We were I mentioned how you delidded my slim PS3. And like we were replacing the thermal paste when you came over for our birthdays celebration. Dude, that's what's up. Does it work? I know it's supposed to work anyway. I know your dev kit was supposed to work. Yeah, that was really cool. I couldn't believe you. I didn't believe that you were gonna do it. I believed that you could. I just wasn't sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, plug it in. Let me know. I'm curious to know if it works. Yeah, so the video I released yesterday, the Northridge fix video that I was responding. Oh, that's really cool, Robert. I'll have to, maybe if you could make a video on it so I could see a demonstration of it, that would be cool. So the video I posted yesterday, the my response to Northridge Fix's video, that video did way better than I expected it to. The video has done over 800 views in 23 hours. That's crazy. Yeah, because LED is DC, right? Well, I know LED is. I'm just saying that's probably the reason, is because the LED is DC volts, not AC volts. That's my guess anyway. But yeah, I always wonder if Northridge Fix is ever going to respond. Maybe not. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But it's not a negative video. It's only just re-emphasizing the point that he was making in his video about schools, and the way that they teach is useless to a lot of people, and it does work for some, but is useless to a lot of people. And that's just basically it with that. What's up, Marley? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, plus you guys have a higher voltage in over in that side of the country. It's like 220 or 240, right? Yeah, over here we have like 110, 120, I think. I could measure it right now and tell you. I got a plug here with 119, 120, 120 AC. RMS. $10 amp. Yeah, I think we have like normal 15 amps, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't do construction or electrical work, so I don't know of all what what services we can provide. Okay, wow. I feel like 2300 watts is not it's not like a ton. I feel like that's like, maybe that's very that's like really small compared to like I can't imagine like how many watts a fridge puts out, or like a heater, electric heater puts out like 1,000 watts. Like I know my my hot air station does 1,000 watts at max output. My paste iron does 120 watts. Right. And that's what I remember, is you guys have a lower amount of amps but higher voltage, but we have lower voltage but at a higher current, from what I understand. Thank you, Jeremy. And if I didn't say hello, hello. Thank you for popping in, my friend. Interesting. RMS about 170 volts. Interesting. I don't know enough about AC current. Like, I understand the concept of AC current and how it switches back and forth. You know? I do get that. I do understand that. And isn't it like 50 hertz over in over in your guys' countries? Isn't it like 50 hertz or something? I know over here in the States it's 60. So it's like 60 hertz switching back and forth. Hertz. Nice. That's what's up. That's really cool. Yeah, so far today, I think I had like maybe one call for business. Like Monday, we had like 12 calls. And Tuesday we had a couple. Wednesday I wasn't here. Thursday I had like one person show up all day, and then today I've had no one call in. I had one lady call me yesterday that I remember now, and she asked me if I fix TV screens. I told her no. And the reason that I don't fix TV screens is because there are two reasons. One, trying to get a distributor to sell me a screen is, like, for me at least, near impossible. I have no space to even do one. And two, the amount of work it takes to change a screen on a TV is a lot, and it's not worth my time. And it's really just, it's like, I barely want to work on laptop screens sometimes, you know, because well, not necessarily laptop screens, but like, not laptops, but mainly like iPad screens. I don't like working with iPad screens. They're very fragile, and I couldn't imagine working with a giant iPad screen. That would just frustrate me so much. Oh, that's what's up, Jeremy. That's cool. That's what's up. I never got into ham radio, and I feel like if I did, it would be really, really cool, because there's a lot of ham enthusiasts out there. And I'm sure including yourself. Man, what is that? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that would really, really suck. So they need to change it to 60 then. Or 40. I don't know. They need to change the hertz then. And that's what should happen. Let's see here. Dang, that's really, really small. I know that, what is it? 500 milliamps can kill you, I thought. Maybe you're saying 30 millivolts. I don't know if that's, if that translates the same. I'm not sure. Thirty milliamps maybe. I always heard that it was 500 milliamps, but it probably is 30. Because I'm not 100% sure about that, honestly. Yeah, absolutely. Messing around with high powered or high voltages, it doesn't usually end well. I was thinking about maybe making a Google ad or something to try to get people to call to get them in the door. I don't know. I was thinking about it though. What's funny is I lick 9-volt batteries all the time. I don't do it all the time, but like I'll do it like I believe it though. But yeah, like when I was younger, I was basically tricked into licking a 9-volt battery to, basically to tease me or whatever, and I licked it and I loved the shock that it gave my tongue, right? Or it's not really a shock, it's just an uncomfortable feeling really to me. And the person was like, waiting for me to be like in shock, and I was like, no, I don't know, I didn't taste any. You want to try it? And then I gave it to them and they tried it and it shocked them, and I just didn't give a response, and they were trying to trick me. I think it was for like a RC car remote battery or something. That was what the 9-volt was for. It was a funny situation nonetheless. I remember that though. That was an interesting time in my life. I was probably just before I was a teenager, I think. Something like that. But yeah, so right now, because businesses just, I'm kind of just waiting for people to bring stuff into the shop. Let's see. We have mega device. That's awesome. I used to own a taser. That was fun. Sometimes I would shock myself with it for fun. Just I don't know. I'm weird sometimes, which is fun. It is harmless, but it was fun. But the taser I had was like probably just a high voltage capacitor. It's nothing deadly or anything. But yeah, it's fun sometimes. But yeah, right now, because the way business is, you make ads and you just kind of wait for customers to come in. Like Monday, I was literally busy the entire day. I was like from 11:30 a.m. till like almost 7 p.m. that night. I worked on probably 5 devices that day, and just busy the entire day with, well, actually I worked on more than that. I probably worked on like 7 or 8 devices, but 5 customers brought and picked up stuff that day. So it was just like in and out, in and out, in and out, and my phone was ringing off the hook the whole day. And then made a few bucks on Tuesday, and then Wednesday wasn't here. Thursday, we had like 1 customer in all day, and then today I've had no one so far. So it seems like Mondays seem to be one of the, just like at the beginning of the week, it seems like it has where customers call the most right now. But I'm not sure. I'm trying whatever I can to get the customers in the door, and I think maybe when I get off of work tonight, I'll probably head over to GameStop, because I'll close tonight at 6. So when I get out of here, I'll probably run over to GameStop and drop a couple of business cards off. Oh, I know, right? See, the thing is Northridge fixes, although the thing is, it's like I can't help Northridge fix at all for anything, because he's in California and I'm in Michigan. So there's unfortunately there's nothing I can really do to help him or for him to help me, unfortunately. I wish that was the case. I wish I could help him, but there's just nothing I can do. But yeah, I wish I had a back leg like his. I don't I don't envy him like at all. Like I'm actually super happy for him because that's really, really cool that he can have that many devices in at once. But also at the same time, like for me, you know, I'm like the type of person where I want to just get the device in and out as fast as possible. I mean, inaccurately, of course. I want to do the repair as accurate as possible, you know. Michigan is in the United States, Jeremy. If you're from the United States, if you're not, but Michigan is it's the state that looks like a giant left hand mitten that looks like this. Robert, you're amazing. You're too sweet. I appreciate you. I appreciate that, man. I'm a Youper. Oh, wait. You're in Jeremy. You're in Michigan then. You said Youper, which that means you're in the UP then. Is that right? And for those that don't know what the UP is, there is an Upper Peninsula to Michigan, and it looks kind of like this. Something like this, almost. Not exactly, but you know, a left hand with another hand that kind of looks like this. Oh, that's what's up, man. Whereabouts in UP are you at? Yeah, so right now I am. Oh, I actually don't know where that is. Wow, that's really interesting though. I'm gonna just briefly look up one of the cities because I'm curious to see exactly about where that is. Michigan Tech U. Okay, that's what's up. Where is that at? I have to open up a Google's map just so I can have the general idea of where that is. Oh, okay, so you're up in... Okay. I don't think I've ever been there before. I don't think... I've always wanted to go out to Copper Harbor just to, like, go up to the very tip of the UP, because I think that would be super cool. The furthest I've... Okay, I've been to... Actually, I'm trying to look and see where this is all at right now. Wherever those springs that the water is like 45 degrees all year round, I've been there. I can't remember the name of it offhand. And I've been to Whitefish Point like a dozen or more times. You know, Sault Ste. Marie a dozen or more times. You know, St. Ignace a bazillion times. I absolutely love the UP. So props to you, man, for being up there. I know it gets cold, and I'm sure is it snowing up there yet? I can't imagine. That'd be epic. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to live up there year round, to be honest with you. I think that would be super cool. Oh, I believe it. Oh, I can't imagine the snow. Yeah, that'd be tough, man. I know wife and I were talking about, you know, if business ever took off or something, we were talking about maybe like going up to Alaska for a little bit or something. Not necessarily, we were talking about maybe moving up there, but probably not. I don't know if I could ever live in Alaska like full time, but I feel like that would be really cool because I do love the cold. I absolutely, like yesterday, it was like 45, maybe in the lower, it was like higher 30s or something last night, something like that. And I remember was driving home with the air conditioner on. I probably could have had the window down, but I had the air conditioner on with a coat on because I prefer the cold sometimes. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I heard that it snowed where I live, but I was here at the shop and I didn't get a chance to experience it, so I don't know. Nonetheless, that's actually really cool, though. Yeah, I would love to live where it's cold all the time. However, like, I don't know how, because, like, for instance, like, living near Detroit, there's, like, there's like gotta be 50 different cities here that are just like jam packed full of people, which, you know, is like just, you know, customers and friends and family and stuff. Because like we lived near, if you're familiar with Cedar Point, we lived about 20 minutes south of Cedar Point for about 3 years. What's up, buddy? And to be honest with you, like living that like out in the middle of nowhere really did a toll on me, because like I liked being around a lot of people, and just being out in the middle of nowhere was like, I don't know, it just having to drive, you know, like 20 minutes in any direction to go to like a Walmart or something just like did not sit well with me. So, oh, you know what's funny? I somewhere up in the UP there was like a snowmobile museum or something that I saw last time we were up there, just like 2 years ago. And I've never even been around a snowmobile myself personally. I think they would be super cool. I would love to ride one. I think that would be cool. The only things I've ever really driven or rode around was like a four-wheeler or a dirt bike, like all-terrain motorcycle. I've done that, but I have never ridden a snowmobile or a jet ski. I've never done that either. That would be really fun, honestly. Jet ski would be really fun. But yeah, Robert, you should go charge your snowmobile batteries. I'm sure you guys get a lot up there, though, in the Netherlands area. Let's see real quick. Wow, that's crazy. Well, you are too amazing, Robert. If I ever find myself over in the Netherlands, I'll definitely contact you. And we'll hop on the snowmobile. That'd be fun, man. Do they take two-stroke gas? That's my guess. Two-stroke. That's the thing I've heard, is that snowmobiles are two-stroke. 16-hour trio, right? Oh, that's what's up, Matthew. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that, dude. So Matthew's, yours are four-stroke. That's what's up. That's what's up. I didn't know I could imagine they made four-stroke, but I didn't know if it was like specific or not. So that's what's up, Matthew. His dev kit power's on. Is it running? What kind of debug firmware that runs? Does it run like a official Sony debug firmware, or are you running like a Rebug Dex firmware or something? That'd be really cool. I don't know enough about PS3 dev kits. Nonetheless, I do think they were really cool. But yeah, let me see here. Oh, goodness gracious, 270 horsepower. That's amazing. Oh, Matthew sent me a picture of it. Oh, dude, that's what's up. That's awesome. Hey, Matthew, is it cool if I show... It's running official firmware on 4.81. Interesting. So if you install an OFW, is it still going to be a dev kit? That's what I want to know. Matthew, do you care if I show chat the picture you sent me? Oh, okay, cool. So you might be able to see it. Let me pop this up here. So, well, maybe. Well, so the screen over here is my face with the with the live stream, And then this is the PS3, the debug PS3. The test kit is this one right here. So you can't really see it, but yeah, that's the one he's talking about. That's cool. Dude, that's really, really cool. I hope you can get some stuff running on it. Yeah, you can jailbreak it. So wait, so isn't a deb kit already able to run package files like regular homebrew? Can't you just install multiman and just run? Or I don't know how that works. That's actually really funny. I've never experienced it. I'm guessing today is going to be one of those, another dead day where there's just nothing going on at the shop, I guess. Unfortunately. Oh, hold on. We got a call. CF Micro Repairs. Okay. What can I do for you? I haven't yet. I got to talk to my dad about doing that. It could be something we could do for you today, actually. Possibly. Gotcha. If you want, is it fine if do you have my dad's number by chance? Okay, if you could you possibly give him a call to see if, because he would probably be the best, because I know without his help with that particular job, because he said he needed to look for some schematics or something. I'm not really sure, because if you wire it wrong, it can blow out like the CPU or something. So interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I'm sure he probably could. But I would say, like, at least for me, I'm probably one of the most inexperienced in this particular radio. So I'm still learning CBs in general. So, but this one he said in specific not to do it until he found some schematics. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So if you want to give him a call just to see where he's at with it. Did he? Okay. Yeah, he is. Yeah, but I mean, he's still able to look for schematics and kind of, do his best to run the show still, nonetheless. So, okay, sounds good. Take it easy, buddy. Bye. It is a gentleman for a radio that we took in a while back, probably maybe a couple weeks ago. Needed a mic wired, and needed the mic wired for the CB, but it is like a really obscure brand of CB, and if you wire it wrong, you can kill the radio. You don't have that problem with a lot of the like Cobra 29s and stuff, from what I understand. And if you wire it wrong, it can destroy it. It does have package manager, but I'm not sure if it can use multiman. Yeah, try to install multiman on it and see if it works. I'm actually really curious. Is it firmware for PS5? No. Can you say hey to my boy Lucas? Hey Lucas, what's up, buddy? It is Chase from CF Micro Repairs, or chasefournierrepairs. How you doing? Yeah, no worries, Robert. No worries at all, buddy. My pleasure. Yesterday, I modified 2 Cobra 29s. Yeah, no problem, buddy, at all. No problem at all. I modified 2 Cobra 29s and put them on the shelf back there. You can see there's like a stack of 4 behind me on the shelf. And I had one up on the shelf, and then I had an old CB myself that I never used. I don't talk on the CB often, and my car's not wired and had set up for a CB. So I threw mine on the shelf, and then I modified 2 others and threw them up on the shelf as well. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did yesterday. And then I looked at that one motherboard where the flash ROM chip was dead shorted for that one telescope control board. Very interesting thing to be called for. But yeah, there was actually 2 things I got called for yesterday. I got called for that telescope motherboard that had, you know, the connector plugged into something else was plugged into a connector that was not supposed to be, and destroyed the flash ROM. And then I had a gentleman call me from Canada, which was really cool. Here in Detroit, we're really close to Canada, so if people call from across the border, they can swing on over here and get some stuff fixed. Had some sort of what do they call that? I remember from yesterday. What is it? It is a let's see here. I'm gonna look through my history now because I gotta find what it was called. It was a, goodness gracious, how can I not remember what it was? Oh, here. Oh, it's a terminal block. It's a terminal block that solders into the motherboard, and that terminal block needed to be replaced on his pool filter motherboard, I think. And so he just ordered the connector, and so he'll probably hop on over from Canada in the next probably week or so to get that soldered in. That'll be fun. I'm trying to think. I did this recently. So this is a little programmer board for PS4, PS5, PS4 Slim and Pro. You can read the BIOS chip for them and the flash chip on the PS5. And there was a modification that I did that basically runs the chip that you solder on here at 3.3 volts rather than 5 volts. Because if you run it at 5, it can kill the chip. So I read chips at 5 volts with no problem, but in the long run, it's not a good idea. So I did the modification, the 3-volt mod for that. And I haven't even tested it yet, to be honest with you. I've not tested it at all. It's been a while. Real quick, I'm going to go get something to drink. Just in the back room, we got some stuff in the fridge, so I'll be right back. 2 seconds. See you later, Jose. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I really appreciate you, man. You're the best. And you have a blessed weekend, man. Go have some fun with those grandbabies. I was going to look at something, and I don't remember what I was going to look at. Hey David, and yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for watching that video and enjoying the content. I may do some more CB stuff in the future. How often? I'm not 100% sure. The modification that I did was something that I actually found very passionate, and I started to understand it a little bit more. One thing would be really interesting that my dad still has to show me is how to align the transmit circuit. Or how when you transmit, you can align that circuit, and you can also align the receiver for the radio. So I'm starting to understand how to align the receiver, and I might actually make a video on how to align the receiver on a Cobra 29 accurately. So that might actually be a video in the future for sure. What's kind of interesting is I would say the devices I feel the most comfortable with is game consoles, but I do fix everything else too. And there have been several instances of like laptops and stuff that I wish I would have recorded. That I'm like, my channel consists of like mainly game consoles, and that's what I fix a lot of. And I'm like, I fix tablets, I fix phones, yeah, and there's actually a video of me doing FPC connector on a cell phone, so I did do that too. Charging port on a couple of different devices other than like outside of game consoles, and it would be really fun to do a laptop repair that has no power and ends up being like a dead short on something. That would be fun. I would love to do something like that. Oh, by the way, about that telescope board. So the flash ROM chip, I could not get a flash ROM chip because like when I looked up the motherboard online, there was like nothing about it. There was like a couple PDFs that described the motherboard and show pictures of it, or like a version before it or the version after it. And the problem that I told the customer was, yeah, I know. Why didn't I do a video? Dude, literally me all the time. Game console repair is so, because it's about 1 billion game consoles there, because they're... Yeah, I know. I can't agree with you more, Matthew. You're so right, dude. Yeah, I always find myself wondering why I didn't make a video on it all the time. That's why I'm trying to, because like as of the video where I stayed here at the shop for 24 hours straight, after that video I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus just because I just needed to clear my head a little bit. I would say not necessarily wanted to get away from YouTube, but just like I had no inkling of any videos that I actually wanted to record. And I want to get myself back into the swing of things and actually recording some videos again. Even just doing a live stream and talking to you guys, I think is just getting myself back into it again. It feels really good. Mine is audio, especially vintage things like pre-1990s. I run a repair shop on my home in Toronto. Oh, that's what's up. Toronto, isn't that like about 5 hours away from Detroit? Yeah, David, you totally should, man. The thing is like the more you get into like, okay, I didn't necessarily want to get into CB radios, but I realized that if I didn't, running my dad, this is the CB shop. And I really just wanted to grasp the concept of how CBs worked so that I would be able to work on them accurately. So my dad gave me a book that I started studying a little bit of. It's by Lou Franklin, and it's basically the Screwdriver's Expert Guide to CB Radio Repair, and it's like from the 70s, 80s. I think the book is probably from the 80s, but it explains things in like really, really like easy to understand things. Yeah, and I totally think you should dabble into console repair because there is a high demand for it when it's when customers do come through the door, which they haven't today. But on Monday we had like 5 people. Like we had 12 calls, and I think all of them were for game console repair. Yep. Robert, no, my video. When I do, nothing goes my way, dude. Literally. That's why I was telling, that's what I mentioned earlier, is that like videos for me, a lot of times where sometimes my logic, from my opinion, it doesn't make sense and doesn't line up. And it's because I'm like, things are not going the way I want them to go. Yep, it is. We used to have friends in Dearborn. We moved to North Carolina a few years ago. Yeah, for sure, David. The shop's always open if you decide to make your way out this way and come and hang out, man. That would totally be open. I love friends from Canada for sure. Canada's awesome. I've been to Canada once when I was 16. It's about like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that older book was I still have it. It's at home. I still gotta look into it a little bit more, but I read probably about half of it. Probably about half of it now. I heard a little beeping, and it was my dad's soldering iron. It turns on every time we turn the bench on. But yeah, anybody, anytime anyone wants to stop in, come and stop in and visit, come and hang out, come get something fixed, whatever you want. So back in 2018, that was when I got into cell phone repair a little bit. Let's see. You guys don't have cherry Coke in Canada? That's interesting. I did not know that. Wow. Canada needs to get with the times. That's so interesting. Back in 2018, I got into cell phone repair, and the first phone I ever touched and worked on, well, actually it was before that. It was an iPhone 4S was the first phone I ever took apart, but I had no idea what it was doing. Oh, okay. So it's almost like a seasonal thing. Yeah, at least from what I understand here in the States, I'm pretty sure we have cherry Coke all the time. Yeah, I know that's and I almost never read like books anymore, but I probably should. And I just reading for me has never been my thing. I'll do my best to read as much as I can, but I feel like the thing for me was mainly hands-on stuff, learning with, doing something. But yeah, back in 2015, or 2018, excuse me, I had an iPhone 5 that I got from a brother-in-law of mine, and changed the screen and battery on it. Or no, I changed just the battery and the power button on it. We haven't had it in a few years, so I'm sure it's gone now. Yeah, cell phone repair here is like one of the biggest problems that I have with cell phone repair. I do it, of course, but I rather do micro soldering because that's my thing. Yeah, it is pretty oversaturated here and cutthroat. And the thing is, it's like, the thing that I don't think that some people understand is that not every shop is the same. And, there are shops that could do better work than I can. And I will admit that. But then there are some shops that can't do what I can do. And, I had an example of that with the switch that came in. I actually made a video on it. I actually don't remember which video it is offhand. But anyway, the video that I made, where I changed the M92 chip because that was what failed. And I knew that from experience, right? And, the shop that it got brought to, all they did was USB-C ports, or HDMI connectors on the PS4, PS5, whatever. And the thing is like, if you could generally understand electronics, you'd be able to fix, you'd be able to find a bad diode in the HDMI circuit. It's like you have a white light of death, or your PS5 has white light, or your PS4 has white light and has no display and ends up being a bad diode, and you know how to check a diode so you can find it, then you'd be able to fix it. But I mean, I don't know. I would say there's probably a handful of shops around here that do know how to do stuff like that. But in this area where I am, probably 10-mile radius or maybe 15-mile radius, I think I'm the only shop that knows how to do that. I don't know for sure, but that's just my guess. And just from what I've heard from other shops. And the other thing was, we actually, my wife and I went on a date like last week. We went to the mall, and there was a cell phone shop in the mall, and they didn't even know. Well, I asked them if they did micro soldering, and they said no. And I do always find it interesting when you have a cell phone shop that doesn't do micro soldering, because I'm like, you know, if something ever goes wrong, like if you cause like accidents happen, right? And if you understand like how sensitive customer information is, like their pictures and their contacts, like what if they never backed up their contacts of their mother that passed away, or their kid that passed away, or whatever, and you accidentally blow a backlight filter, and now they don't have backlight on their device, or you blow a touch filter, and now they don't have touch and they can't get their data, you know. And I'm just kind of like, I don't quite understand how you could have a shop that doesn't do micro soldering, you know, like where you could change an FPC connector. Those FPC connectors are not like, they're pretty durable, but they're not like super durable. That's awesome, David. You seem like an awesome person. Do you have a YouTube channel? Like, okay, you have a YouTube channel. Do you have videos on that channel? For sure, absolutely. And I feel like you know, being transparent with customers is at least, you know, the one thing that I find that I would want if I were a customer. I would want my technician to be as transparent as possible. Well, this is, yeah, sure. Yeah, send. You have a tech channel? Send it. I want to check it out. Okay, so this is your you have a game. This is your gaming channel. Got it. Got it. Well, it's, I would say also it's not stupid. You have 69 subscribers. That's a lot. And I mean, you have a ton of videos on here. And to be honest, by the way, like there's a ton of channels that have like, they have like, you know, 6, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 subscribers. They post videos that are like very, very short, like as short as yours, like 19, 20 seconds, even up to a minute sometimes. I see some like these Fortnite videos, and it will literally just be exactly what you have on screen, and the people like they'll the videos will get thousands and thousands of views. I guess it just depends on the video and the content and what it includes. But like the videos that I was watching was like Call of Duty Zombies, because that's what I like, and like it'll be like Treyarch. You forgot that Treyarch put this in this game but didn't put it in this game, and you liked this for this reason or whatever, and you know, it gets clicks and it gets views. But yeah, what is your channel? The one that you post tech stuff on. Oh, okay, for sure. It could have gotten blocked. Davy Tech. Okay, let's take a look. Or unless you have it. No, okay, not there. Let me see. Sorry, computer's lagging a bit. How many subs do you have? Just so I can kind of find your channel accurately. Okay, there is... Yeah, that would be cool, Robert. Okay, 94. Yeah, okay, so there's this one. Okay, this must... I'm guessing this is you. Did you do a Victrola record player? Is that a video on your channel? Or you did a video, what's inside a original Nintendo Game Boy battery pack? Did you do that one? Okay. Yeah, this channel looks great, man. Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, I would absolutely say keep doing what you're doing. I like it. Yeah, you got cleaning the Hacko FR301. Yeah, that's what's up. People need that, and that's why that video has 1.5K views. That's great. That's what's up. Yeah, good for you, buddy. Good for you. It looks good. Yeah, what's in my workshop? Actually, I will watch this video later because I'm literally saving it to my watch later right now because I absolutely love videos like showing workshops and stuff. That's like one of my favorites. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Destructional videos. Yeah, there's a channel called Tech Rex, and that video, or that channel in specific, I think he's got like... maybe between 7 and 10 million. Uh, 7.63 million. And all he does is destroy electronics. It's great. It's awesome. But yeah, in here mainly I just fix electronics. That's so funny. Yeah, Robert, you should definitely go check it out. Whenever you get a chance. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that one video later. So David, what do you usually work on at your shop then? You said you like vintage audio stuff. Matthew, I have gotten nothing in today. Absolutely nothing. The only thing we did today was change the thermal paste on my MacBook. So, like, are you doing motherboard repair for the audio stuff then? Like, that was my guess just based off of seeing your Hacko setup you got going on. Yeah, right now my workload for the week is pretty much done. I've done basically everything. I think the only thing I have is that one radio and amp, which I'd have to go over with Dad, so I'm not doing right now. I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow with him. I just got your text, Matthew. Yes, multi-man installs and works. That's what's up. That's actually really cool. So must have some that's interesting. That's really cool. My question is and this is an interesting question about the PS3, is like, is there something special about the test kit of the like a PS3 test kit that a DeX PS3 or a converted DeX PS3 can't do? That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, so on dev kits, I know that Blu-ray doesn't work on DeX from what I understand. Blu-ray movies, at least I thought, doesn't work on DeX. Well, yeah, most definitely, David. Absolutely. Through-hole stuff a lot of the times can be better than surface mount. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. The that response video to Northwich Fix has like over 900 views on it. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Yeah, yesterday I was asked about if I did any retro stuff, but I love retro computers and stuff, but I've never actually like done anything with them. But I think it would be really cool to mess around with a couple of them. That's what's up, dude. That's really cool. That's what's up, man. I'm glad that I am that we're agreed with. It's always hard when you make a video, stating something that you think, because a lot of times you'll either have people that agree with you or disagree with you, and that it comes with the territory. But in my opinion, like Amiga 500, how much are they nowadays? But yeah, I wanted to post a response to that because I just felt how much it resonated with my life, and how much I thought, like, man, I wish, like, because being homeschooled just made all the difference for me. Being able to look into things. Like, I remember, this was one story I didn't tell in that video that I thought was an interesting story. And it was that when I was in my senior year of high school. I remember I was in English class, and we were supposed to be writing some sort of like page on some sort of topic or whatever. And I had my school laptop, right? And I was on the PS3 dev wiki, like, just researching different things because of how much I love the PS3 and learning about it. And some of that information has actually helped me in the long run. And it was like, what did that English actually do for me? Now, I mean, learning English and understanding it better, it helps in life. But, what is going to help me make more money? This is the question. It's like, because it's like, logically, you can come to two answers. Language is going to help you make money if you know how to be a salesman or whatever. But, like, at the same time, learning how something works and being able to fix a device for a customer, that's what actually makes really good money, Oops. That's me fidgeting, playing with tools. And then I got the magnet. Throw it on the bench. Oh. Yeah, if you guys don't have one, I think you can get them at Walmart. It's a magnet. It extends out, so if you drop screws on the ground, or tools, if you're fidgeting. Yeah, I know I dropped something. It literally made the loudest noise it possibly could. Yeah, I did, Robert. I did. Yeah, I checked it out earlier. It looks good. And Do you have a tech channel? Or is that the channel that you have, this one that you're on right now? Oh, David, for sure, man. Literally, I use it like every day. And it's not even mine. It's with my dad's. He had 2 of them, and my daughter took it and like pulled it apart on accident and broke it. But I think you can get them at Walmart. But they're amazing, and they make so much sense to have. Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna have to find one of those for myself. That would actually be really nice. Yeah, I was actually gonna say, Robert, if you could send it my way, that'd be amazing. Yeah, what is your channel name so I can find it? Because I thought the one you said that you were on right now was your tech channel, but I wasn't sure. Okay, you did say that earlier, but I didn't know what you were mentioning. Okay, and it's not your fault. It's just me not being able to read English language sometimes. That's not true. It's just me making a hyperbole assumption. I don't know. Whatever. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did say you had 231 subs. Okay, this is what's up. Okay. 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 Okay, I can see you like the Amiga 500. I can see that. You have, so far you have 3 videos on it. That looks awesome. Okay, iPhone cable, lightning model. Okay, the USB SATA connector repair, or yeah. I'm saving this right now to watch later. I'm gonna check it out. Technically I have a Discord now, but I don't ever use it for anything except for talking to... Are you familiar with Joey Does Tech by chance? His channel looks like this. Yeah, absolutely, Robert. Thank you, man. Dude, Robert, English is my primary and only language. And my English is bad sometimes. That's what's sad. So Joey Does Tech is from the UK. I think he just hit about 11,000 subs. We just became good friends. Like, we had been acquaintances for a while, but we just became good friends recently. And we don't talk super often because he just got a brand new job, and so we don't talk much now. But beforehand, I think he was just approaching 10K when we started talking, like officially. But he's a very, very nice, very transparent guy. And you should go sub to him. Absolutely. But, you know, like anything, like any YouTuber, this is my opinion. You don't have to necessarily sub to him. What I would like you to do is to go check out his channel. And if you like his content, then sub. Because, you know, I think having... Like, I would never want someone to just sub just because. I think that it would be proper if you sub because you like their content. Not, you know, because, like, that's, like, the biggest thing. You know? Because then you don't want to end up being, like, a sub for sub. Like, I'll sub if you sub to me or this or that. And then, you know, because you never, you know, especially if your channel gets bigger, you can't just sub to everybody. And, you know, you can't, you know, you run into that issue, you know. Yeah, My Mate Vince. Yeah, My Mate Vince is, absolutely, 100%. My Mate Vince is one of the kindest YouTubers I've met thus far. He had me in his, which I think we talked about this earlier, that series, that one series I was mentioning, the YouTube Fixer series. That was in episode 7. And a good friend of mine as well, I want to make sure I mention him, is Guido from The Italian retro guy. Let me make sure that I go to his channel and I'll link it. Okay, so Italian retro guy, his videos are really good, and I would highly recommend. He's got a couple videos coming out here soon. This is his channel. I'm gonna link it right here. Him and I were actually in that repair video I was talking to you about on my Vince's channel. It was almost like the stars aligned. Him and I are the same age, and he's into electronics and coding and stuff, and he's just super cool. So absolutely go check out his channel. I would say the last 2 videos he did were some of the best videos that I've ever watched, and the video he released about a month ago has 2K views on it, and there's a reason it's got 2K. It's because it's a good video. That's my opinion anyways. But you know, like I said, you guys don't have to sub to them. Just go check out their channels at least, and if you like their content, sub, you know. I think it's the most genuine way, because, you know, if you like it, you'll sub, you know. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I'll check out both of your guys' channels here probably after I end the stream. I'll probably end it here in when we hit about 3 hours. And then I'll probably go and do a couple other things here at the shop, and then right around 6 I'll probably be heading out. Sure. You know what's funny is making electronic repair videos is a lot easier for me than like live streaming like a video game. I remember the last live stream, like a couple of live streams ago or whatever, I started live streaming Minecraft, because I play Minecraft sometimes, and I kind of was like, I was sitting there kind of thinking to myself, dude, I don't know how to live stream video games at all. I don't know how to keep it entertaining. I don't know how to talk about it. It's like, I don't know. Plus, I don't know who's actually interested in Minecraft and on all that. I know there's a ton of people that are, but at least my subscribers, you know, you guys, I don't know if you guys are interested in you know, Minecraft and stuff. And so, you know, even sharing like video games like that with an audience that doesn't quite understand your content, it will actually confuse the YouTube algorithm, and it can sometimes mess up your channel profile for the algorithm. I know one of the things that I'm really interested in is YouTube analytics and understanding like how to make a good video and all of that. And like I said, I'm still trying to learn how to make a good video on YouTube. I try, but, you know. I appreciate you, Robert and David, and whoever else is watching. You guys are all awesome. I really appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around. But, of course, we're going to go for the next probably 17 minutes. I'll probably end it there. Got you. Yeah, Minecraft is I beat Minecraft with a friend of mine back about 7 years ago, and since then Minecraft has gotten very, very difficult, or I suck. I don't know. It's probably a mixture of both. But I used to not be that bad at Minecraft. Dad, I will definitely do some more CB videos for sure. I love it, David. Listen, I do have a Discord, but I don't quite understand how to do Discord, to be honest with you. The only reason I made a Discord was actually to talk to Joey, because he said that was the best way. And that's actually the same reason why I made a WhatsApp, was to talk to Joey. So if you want to talk to me on WhatsApp. Well, I got a Discord here. Let me see here. What do I just... Okay, all right. So I do have a channel, I think. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure how to... maybe I'll just... I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to use... I'm not sure how to use it. Yeah. Usually, so on like a normal day when I'm not like live streaming or making a YouTube video, and I'm working on CBs, I'll usually get on the video chat with Dad, and so where his microscope would sit, I'll set my phone. It's basically like the circular area, and I'll set my phone like here, and it kind of sits above this area, right? And then he'll basically be my eyes and ears, and he'll basically just kind of walk me through what I'm doing for him, and it kind of works out. You know the guy who made Minecraft Live? I don't know offhand. Is that? I'm trying to think. Well, because there's a couple of YouTube. Well, there are two top Minecraft YouTubers that I know of. Like, I don't know them personally, obviously, but like I just know of. There's Tommy in it, and then there's George Not Found. I know they're in the UK, where George Not Found is now. He's in the US, but used to be in the UK. Yeah, I would appreciate it, David. If you want, you can reach out to me by my email. I'll post my email. Hang on. That's my email. It's also in the description of all my videos too, so if you need to find it, it's there. I appreciate that, David. Thank you. Swedish. Well, the only person I thought that it was Swedish or like from Sweden was oh, that's funny. Thanks, buddy. Was PewDiePie. I thought he was Swedish. Right. Yeah, when you're that big, you don't have to care about money anymore. Yeah, absolutely. Apparently I have a server, but all I did was talk to Joey on it once. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, PewDiePie, I thought he was Swedish. I think he's in Japan now. Right, I know. Yeah, the thing is just, yeah, Marcus Person. Wait, hold on. Who is that? Hold on. I have to go, because I've heard that name. Oh, yeah, he's the creator of Minecraft. Yeah, isn't he Swedish too? Yeah, that guy, definitely. He's like a billionaire. I think he got like $1.2 billion from Microsoft for Minecraft. That's an insane purchase. Yeah, I was like, I remember hearing that name, and I was like, dude, that is a very, very familiar name. I could not remember who it was. But yeah. I remember watching a couple videos on Marcus Person. Yeah. I could not imagine having $1 billion. But to be completely frank with you, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably still do electronic repair because it's my passion. I'd still do it for fun. That's insane. So, all right. So the proper success. Oh, I thought I sent you. Yeah. So, Matthew, you're asking about the interview that I had the other day where the guy canceled on me like 2 times in a row in the same day. He told me noon, canceled, said between 3 and 5. I said, okay, 3. And then canceled again and said 5 or tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, all right. I'm not gonna, I was like, dude, if we're not gonna, have an interview today, at least let me know that you can't do it. I just felt like it was kind of irresponsible. All right, David, I would upgrade all my equipment too. Yeah, 100%. Like, I would say I would probably go with like some all-in-one pace systems. Oh wow, Robert. So, Marcus Persson lives like 4 miles from you, Swedish miles. Yeah, that is really crazy. Yeah, Minecraft is amazing. It really is a really good game. But I always find myself like, I'll be playing Minecraft and I'll get into a position where I'm just kind of like I want I want to go and, create stuff. But or I'll go like searching for materials to build stuff, and then a creeper or a zombie will kill me, and then I'll just lose complete interest because I just worked so hard, and then I'm just like, I don't want to keep trying if I'm just going to die. But that is just me giving up. But yeah. Oh yeah, I know EVV blogs. I don't watch a lot of his videos, but I'm familiar with some of the stuff. I know he reviews like electronic repair equipment, from what I understand. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Um, I know my dad has a higher end piece of pace equipment, but it was higher end from years and years ago. Um, it's got actually three different spots. It's got a soldering iron, the solder sucker, and then it has a spot where you could plug in probably a hot air station, or you could plug in a like a Dremel tool, probably some other stuff too. Right. Is it Sigwent stuff? I've never heard of the brand. I'm sure it's popular. I'm unfamiliar with it. I compared to, like, because I've used some pace equipment, and I've used Hacko, and I started with Hacko, and my pace iron is my 100% favorite iron to use. I mean, in my opinion, I think that the Pace ADS 200 beats the Hacko 951 out of the water. Plus, I'm pretty sure that the Pace ADS 200 is a higher wattage anyways. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out. Let me see here. I'm curious, how many watts does that put out? Okay, about 75 watts. Yeah, so the Hacko 951 puts out about 75 watts from what I'm seeing online. And then the Pace ADS 200, I think, does 120 watts. The Pace ADS 200, the iron that I have, does 120 watts. And it is low-cost professional soldering station for serious cell phone repairs, electronic techs, engineers, DIYers, and production solder techs. Yes, dude, this iron is the best, in my opinion. I love it because, like, literally, you can just change out the tips so fast. Like, it's a hot swappable tip too, so you can have the iron on and just swap it mid-game. Obviously, you don't want to swap it when it's hot. You grab the tool and you pull it out, right? So off to the side, you grab your other tip and then just pop it in there, and it heats up in 7 seconds. Yeah. So I'm guessing you guys watch Rossman then? I listen to Rossman's talks all the time. He's almost like a therapist to me. He did. It's, what's funny is I was talking to a friend of mine. I think I was talking to Matthew about how negative he is sometimes, and just in his life, just things he's been through. But at the same time, he has a lot of really good wisdom. I'm like, dude, this guy, man, I love it. Oh, I don't watch think tank vids. I would have to. I'd have to. I guess if you gave me an example, I could understand what one of his think tank vids. Oh, I know. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, when he comes across was like has a really specific opinion about a topic, like, it can come across as endearing, I feel, at some times, but at least for me, and I try to take it with a grain of salt, like for myself. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. What's funny is I actually a lot of times I'll just listen to him talk instead of like actually repairing something. I'll just actually just listen to him just to hear his opinions on business, his opinions on life, and just philosophies and just the way he does life. Because I like to, I have my own philosophy, falafel, my own. I have my own like philosophy in life, and so but I'm open minded. So I like to listen to what other people have to say, or because I could be so set and be like, this is the best soldering iron ever, and never touch a Hacko and just say this is the best. However, I have touched a couple of Hacko irons. I started with Hacko, and I still prefer Pace over the Hacko. Yes, I like that about him. Exactly. Yeah. But as far as Rossman goes, yeah, I think he's absolutely. He's just I feel like some people, you either like him or you hate him, and for myself, I mean, I just think he's just from situations in life, he seems to me like he's very transparent. That's just what I can tell, and he's just like a no crap kind of person. He's just straight to the point. Robert, I don't know enough about Rossman to know that if he challenged Soren. That's interesting. If he did, that would be really interesting. Um, I would say I rarely ever use schematics because they're just not available. So I've learned to fix stuff without them. But I if we had some more schematics for game console stuff, I would really like try to just engulf myself into understanding schematics more. And I might do that more with CB radios here soon. I'm probably going to have to anyways. But okay, let me see here real quick. All right. Screwdriver and iron. That's awesome. All right, guys. So it's closing in on 3 hours. So let's see here if I could download all the CB radio intel from your dad's mind, dude. For freaking real, man. My dad's got like 40 something years of experience in CB radio repair, and it is insane. If I could download that information and understand all of it, that would be literally insane. But yeah, as I was going to mention, it's coming up. We just passed 3 hours on the stream, so I am going to end it here because I've got to go take care of a couple of things. And I absolutely enjoyed having you guys. You guys are awesome. It really makes the day fly by to be able to just have someone to talk to and hang out. That's something I love. Even if we don't repair something, at least we can talk and just chill. That's one of the things if I'm not doing anything, let's just hang out. You know what I mean? So, But yeah, I'll probably do some. The way I am is, it's probably going to be random live streams. There's probably nothing scheduled. It's just if I'm like, you know what, I was thinking about filming a video today, but then I decided, and I may film a video. Who knows? But my thing is just, if I have time, let's live stream. If I'm not going to be doing anything, let's do something. So, but thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll do another one soon. I'll see you guys, and you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Okay. And yeah, David, if you want to reach out to me, we can kind of get my my stuff set up for. I can look into it myself too, but I guess I never got into the Discord thing. Appreciate you, dude. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video. You know how it goes. It'll be a stream or a video. Who knows? It's like, how am I feeling this week? Stream, video, multiple videos in a week. Who knows? Whatever. All right. I'll see you guys. Take care and have an awesome day.